Hey, welcome to another exorcism exercise. This time, we're still on the TypeScript track, and we'll be doing the Armstrong numbers. So introduction. An Armstrong number is a number that is the sum of its own digit, each raised to the power of the number of digits. For example, 9 is an Armstrong number because 9 equals 9 to the power of 1 is equal to 9. 10 is not an Armstrong number because 10 is not equal to 1 to the power of 2 plus 0 to the power of 2 equals 1. So, okay, I kind of get the idea of what they're trying to do. So, depending on the amount of digits, we'll times each of the digits by the power of the amount of digits in total, right? So, in the third example here, 153 is 3 digits. So, we're gonna go 1 to the power of 3 because it's 3 digits and so forth, and then we add those together, and if it's all equal back in the end, then we know it's an Armstrong number. Okay, let's get to the code editor. Right, so we have our test and we have our blank slate to start with. So I'm going to move the test to the other side of the screen. So I guess first things first, we're going to export a default class called Armstrong Numbers, and that class has a static method is Armstrong number, which will take a unit, which will be a number, and it'll return something, right? So we're expecting to return, I guess the tests are against to be truthy or to be false. So return true or false. So we expect to return a Boolean. For now, we're just going to return true. Right, so okay. So I guess the first thing is to get the unit as we have here and work out how many digits the unit is. So my idea is to split this unit. So the number, I want to split it into I guess one of the quickest way I can think of is unit dot to string dot split, right? So now I should split them individually, so we should have a new array. So const array of unit. So that should give us an array of the units. Let's just make sure that's working. Just run this yarn test. Let's see what the result is. So we should get an array of units, which they'll probably all be strings. Yeah, so it's a string in an array. One way we could fix this to be number is, I think we could just map it over to the number operator. And let's run that again. And it should be, instead of string, it should be an array of numbers. Yeah, so we have 5, which is our first test there. So how do we know how many digits it is? So we can do that by getting the length of the array. Right, so this would give us our number. So const power off, we'll call it power off. So that'll be the length. And what could we do next? So now we know to the power of what. So I guess we could map over this. R of units dot map. No, we can't do that yet because Let's just log this out. I'm going to also open up more of the tests. Let's run that again. So we have 2 tests. The first one should pass because we're returning true. The last one should fail. So power of 1, power of 2. Okay. So our end result has to be true to or falsy. So we know how to do the calculation. So let's go back here. Let's just copy this example to keep within our code. So we have a visual representation or reference. So in our first case, it would be 5 equal 5 to the power of 1, right? Which would be fine. In our second case, it's 10, which would be 1 to the power of 2 plus 0 to the power of 2. So we want to know what the result of that is. I want to check the result against the initial number. So in the end, we want to have the result of calculation equal unit, right? And that should give us our truthy or falsy evaluation. Okay. So we know the power of, so yeah, we're gonna map for sure array of units dot map unit. Then we'll do u plus, no, let's use mat pow u power off, right? And then we can reduce that. So we're going to reduce that down to a single digit. Starting from 0, 0, 0. So I think we'll call this result of, did I spell that right? Result of calculation. Yeah. Let's log that out. Actually, we don't even, well, yeah, let's log it just to see what the value would equal to. One. The first one is 5. Okay, that's looking good. So we're gonna just use this comment. Yeah, I think that should give us some results. Let's see. So the first 2 tests, are they passing? Yep. Let's add in a test with more digits. What happens here? Is it gonna pass? Yep. Okay, so it looks like the idea had worked. Let me uncomment all the other tests. Should probably get rid of the console logs. And all of our tests are passing. Yeah, so that's how we get our check to check if it's a Armstrong number. I guess we could move some of these into their own functions, but I think this is simple enough to warrant them all just being in the same place. But yeah, so let's run the test the last time just to make sure everything's working fine. Yep, so it's working fine. So I'm just going to go through again. Let's expand this code. Let's get rid of our thingy. Actually, let's just close the test completely. This is long. Let's just split it so we can read it on the same screen. Right. So what we're doing is we're converting the unit to a string, then we're splitting the string, and then converting those back to numbers, each of the strings, right? So we get an array of all the units, and this is a numeric array, so it'll be an array of numbers. We get the power off based on the length of that array, and we get the result of the calculation based on mapping over each element in the array and using the mathPow function to get it to the power of the unit against the power of, and then we reduce it down to a single digit. In the end, we then check that single digit against the original unit that was passed in, and if it's the same, then we know it's an Armstrong number. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll be back to watch more of this sort of videos.